Morning, Beth. No, get down. Oh my goodness, cat. And I have to get her down. She can't be on tables. Hang on a second. Oh, she is just tearing things up this morning. You have to go outside. No, go outside. Come on. I don't want to be upset with you today. Mommy's tired after all last night. Here you go outside. Good morning, Beth. I know you're there. Hang on a second, Beth. I know you're there. Hang on. Um, I decided to punch the button a couple of minutes early because I hope you can hear me. I'm tired. We had quite a storm in the middle of the night. Okay, middle of the night. We all woke up at, I don't know, 3. I hope you can hear me. The phone is charging. Have 93%. I'm going to unplug it for right now. I'm tired. Yeah, I feel tired. No, I didn't brush my hair. I'm not going to. It's just down this morning. But it's because I was up from 3 until, no, 2:30. I don't remember. 2:30 to I don't even remember when. I kind of gave up and made a cup of coffee because the lightning strikes were so close. I turned on lights, which is a way that I manage my stress from a severe lightning storm that's close by. Um, is I turned lights on so that, and then heard the because I saw the so yeah, so I'm a little tired and I'm okay. Oops, I'm okay. I kind of have a lot of stuff that I thought was going to get done this week that didn't really get done, just as kind of a quick update stuff. Um, I have not finished washing dishes. I have not finished reorganizing and stuff my move of the kitchenette into the inside. I have not finished a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. So at some time this morning, maybe at 3, because I think we got up at 2:30. I don't remember. Anyway, Wendy wanted to go outside, and I was like, really? What do you need to go out for? Right? And we've had a big fox here. Now, a fox doesn't usually want dogs and cats, but if they're cornered and angry or they're super hungry, they'll take anything that's food. So, but they've been visiting the neighbors looking for chickens. So, uh, anyway, so I was like, Wendy, it's dark time. I don't want you out very long. Well, she took baby kitty with her and they got a mouse and baby kitty ate it, like all of it. Left just a little gross thing, right? It's a whole thing, anyways. I mean, I'm glad I have a cat that can maneuver these things. But at 2 o'clock this morning, the storm had 3 o'clock this morning. The storm had kind of calmed down, and they're outside and they're hunting, and I know what's going on. So I turn a couple of lights on for them, and then I hear vehicles, and I'm like, well, they can't be close by, but because the driveway alarms didn't go off. But crap, who's out driving around in this mess, right? Anyway, whatever. Probably somebody had to go to work somewhere. Anyway, so yes, I feel a little tired. Um, and I'm okay. And I need to write it down somewhere, which I will do somewhere sometime. Um, I figured out this week that I have been enjoying these millet brown rice Lotus Foods noodles. But every time I use the flavor packet, I get sick. So I stopped using the flavor packet and I started doing my own version of a like peanut butter sauce. And I'm okay with it, but I need to get the tahini out. Well, with my kitchen kind of being half in here and half on the porch and half in a barrel out back, you can imagine it's just a little annoying right now. And it's not bad and negative, but this is part of what off-grid does. And especially when somebody is low income like I am, and you have to maneuver the weather. And me being allergic to propane does present some issues. Now, I have a neighbor who 15 miles away, we call each other neighbors still, though, because there's just great distances between people. I have a neighbor who's not allergic to propane, and she was so grateful that I think it was Jess, her handyman person, showed up and was able to get her propane hot water heater fixed and her water pump and whatever else. So she finally has working hot running water in her. I think she's in a trailer, in a travel trailer. I don't know if it's. I've never been to her house. I don't know if it's a fifth wheel or what it is. Anyway, it's a thing. So yeah, I'm a little tired and I'm okay. I sleep. I don't know what time. I don't remember. But I fell back asleep and I woke up about 8 o'clock. So I haven't had a lot of time awake, enough to run out and feed the birds at the bird feeder, make sure Wendy had something to eat, fed the kitty, just took a quick look around. I've got a squirrel. Now, I had one last winter, not a chipmunk, but a regular big squirrel. Of course, I'm high. This was an actual squirrel, not a chipmunk, and a bunch of rabbits that were in the yard. And new people, would you please do me a favor? And if you want me to read and comment or answer a question or something on what you are asking, if you do not put 3 uppercase Q's, I will probably ignore your comments. I only hunt for the uppercase Q's. It's how, unless you want to make a donation to the channel. And that's totally on you. There are super thanks, super chats, all that kind of stuff if you want to do that. But for the moment, this is how we're handling things. I won't read any opinion. That's not being, that's just setting a boundary. The other thing is I have not eaten today. And I had a cup of really horrible coffee this morning because it was instant and I was in a mood. I'm going to have a couple of bites of my breakfast. And if you don't want to look, don't if you don't want to watch. I was going to use my chopsticks, but I'm not doing that on camera because I just can't handle it this morning. It's not a bad thing. Not this morning. Let's see if I can do it with a spoon, even though it's long noodles. So, oh yeah, that's a mess. Oh, that's a mess. Coconut bowl, Maicita Summit spoon, a few ramen noodles from that ramen pack, but with a different, you can't see this, a different sauce. Let's do this. Okay, that's enough. And then put the lid on it And we'll save the rest of it for after I finish up. So, all right, let's see. Let me get a couple of bites in because it's beautiful after a rain. You know, it's nice and quiet. And it was a severe, severe rain. Wow. Pray for the people down in Globe, Arizona, and all parts south of Globe. Globe is a couple hours away. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 hours away. But Globe is right on the edge of the Salt River Canyon. And they got 2 inches of rain in 25 minutes last night, or late yesterday, which resulted in crazy flash floods, a few people dying, and many poisonous is what the Facebook news, it wasn't Facebook, but it was news thing flash that came across Facebook. Poisonous, hazardous something, because all the propane tanks, 1,000 propane tanks from a propane facility, all got washed down river. I'm telling you, I know I'm allergic to propane, but it's good when we learn other ways to do things. Biting food. Ignore me for a minute. Would I like to be breaking my fast differently this morning? Yeah, maybe. But for right now, I have this. It's quick, it's convenient. It'll do the job. Yes, I would like to be doing kefir and fruit first. That's not what's happening yet. Yes, I'm drinking juice out of the bowl. Juice, broth. The bowl got hot. Is why I had this. Okay. One more bite. 2 more bites. Okay. Hopefully, there's no cilantro in my teeth. That would be nice. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. I know I haven't really said my highs around yet either. I think we're going to go sit in a chair. Hopefully, have good connection. And try it from there. Okay? So, I'm moving the phone again. We run the risk of all kinds of things when I move the phone. All right, let's try this. Wow. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. This place is the best. This is Beth. I finally got running water again. 3rd time's a charm, so dishes can wait. Wow, that's great. That's great, Beth. I don't know what I'm doing about that yet, but Babs, hi, I just saw your name. And Iris, hi. And Beth said, you sound tired. I am tired. And Mary, is Mary here? I don't see her name yet. Okay. Maybe I didn't go far enough back. Oh, there's Mary. Hi, Mary. Are you driving today? You're often driving. Okay. All right. Let me go back down to where, yes, buffering. Lots of buffering this morning. So I saw, I don't know if it's real, but I saw where Tesla is, where Elon Musk has made a Tesla phone that automatically connects to Starlink satellites. And it's expensive, but less than an iPhone. That's intriguing in my situation and with my income, my love of all things mobility and whatever. Okay, I didn't quite get that right, but you know what? It's not so much sun in my eyeballs. So, and yes, I'm holding the phone with my hand. So it's wiggling a little bit. So, saying that when he was trying to sleep. So, all right, let's. That signal is one of them. And on my pay $160 a month for Starlink. There's no way. And I don't have money for, so that's not happening anytime soon. It's for real. I would save money to get it. And I am so sorry. I see that, Donna Kay. Buffering. I am so sorry, guys. But it's what I've got. I'm holding the phone still where it is because right now we're still connected. And it's frustrating for me as well. So, what do you guys got for questions and stuff like that? Let me tell you some of the things that added to my stress levels this week. Not all bad things, but it still adds to stress sometimes. I have had much more energy lately. I was able to spend Feast of Trumpets with a friend. I'm not even sure that I got the right day because I've been working with learning how to keep the holy days by the moon phases, the new moon phases, and to actually try to see it with my own eyes or to accept a trusted person seeing it with their eyes to figure out the day for Sabbath and the day for a whole. So, had it's very frustrating from over here on my side, and I can't make my phone be any better than it is right now. I do not have a tripod anymore. I it dry rotted. Plastic doesn't last long in Arizona, and it dry rotted, and I don't have a tripod. And so I've got you on a little stand that is like way laid back, not the best. Sorry. It's the best I can do today, though. It's what I've got. Anyways, but if this Tesla phone is true, and I would save money to try to get one so that I could have better signal anywhere I am, wherever the phone is with me, for when I want to connect and not because I have to. I would rather not have my cabin, my home situation completely wired with stuff. And Starlink takes a lot of power. I don't want to deal with that. So, anywho. So, during this week, y'all know that I had adopted an older cat because the lady who had the cat went into hospice. Well, she died this past week. And then the same day that she died, the cat started attacking Wendy. And I mean seriously attacking Wendy. And Wendy's fine, but Wendy got to where she was afraid to go outdoors. So now, yesterday, so Wendy got attacked 5 times. And then I was like, I don't want to text this woman because her mother just died. So, I didn't want to bother her with it. But at the same time, it was only fair to give her the opportunity to make a decision what I did with the cat because I obviously can't keep the cat if it's going to attack Wendy. So I just sucked it up and I did my best to write a text and just said, God, you got to handle this, please. And I did my best to write a text, sent it to her, and she said, well, honey, if you've got a rehomer, um, I would like to take her back. And I was like, great. So she said, can you meet me at farmer's market on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock? Yeah. And then I said, well, can you bring your crate? And then we could just transfer her from my crate to your crate and we can just be done with it. And then don't you know this morning I found the brush on the floor. So I've still got Tilly's brush here. I'll have to take that back. But anyway, um Beth, I see that. What did I see? Oh no, Miss Tilly, yes. Any chance that Miss Tilly felt her owner passing on? Probably. I expect so. Yes, I really do expect so. And then, but anyway, yesterday I took her back, and so um, she's with that family again. I had to. I couldn't risk Wendy getting really hurt, and this cat was trying to do away with Wendy. So I'm not having that. And of course, I first had the cat, and the first thing she did was walk straight through a screen door. At least she did the door and not the wall on the screen porch. But still, she just walked through it. So I've spent so freaking much money this month that I have touched my savings, okay? But I've spent so much money. But Jess finally came, so the front porch is finally being worked on. I think I put those pictures on a post where you guys can see them on YouTube. I'm trying to do updates and posts on YouTube, okay? And so I had all the stress of Wendy being attacked, Wendy not being able to go outdoors by herself, the big fox. And I'm talking, this fox is the size of a small dog. So maybe what, 35, 40 pounds, something like that. So where you know, my game camera is not recording anything. I don't know what's wrong with it or whether there's a setting off or what. I'm sorry about this camera angle, people. I see myself and I don't like the camera angle, but I don't have a way to fix it. So we're just going to live with this being weird. And you see in so much ceiling, okay? But anyway, so yeah, the fox, the chipmunks have been like crazy this year. Then Tilly attacking Wendy. Then I had a mouse and a chipmunk out in the screened porch, which was problematic but not horrible. Okay. Then I got the kitchenette cart that my oldest sister got for me. Um, that arrived and I had to put it together. I sold the black table thing, but the person hasn't come after it. I realized I needed a table beside uh, my new comfortable chair, my couch style chair. So I ordered a little inexpensive $25 thing. That came. So all these things I had to put together. I had to go to the post office. We had a holy day. Wendy still doesn't have her harness, but Leanna told me yesterday or the day before that that Howard found it. So it's over at Leanna's, and I'll get that back. Oh, well, crap. If I had a pillow close, I could get up closer. Anyway, we're just we're doing the best we can this morning, guys. So off grid stuff. I've been, like I said, I've had more energy. I've been working in the garden. I decided I had this package of seeds for beets, and I'd put quite a few of them in the garden already, and they're growing really good. They're not very tall, but they're growing good. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put the whole package in. So I spaced them out all over the place. And so they're mixed in with everything, but it's okay. That gardens can be like that. And Leanna gave me I know what it is. I can't think of it right now. Plant. Oh, the name of it's right here. Anyway, she gave me a plant. I got that in. And then yesterday at farmer's market, I was able to buy um, an elephant garlic from a neighbor that grows them. I'll plant most of this. Elephant garlic's a little more mild, so I'll plant one of these. And I got some seeds from her. I'm not going to put these seeds in the ground yet. Okay, she also had oregano, and I didn't think I had any, to eat, so I grabbed this. I didn't check to see if there's any seeds in it. Anyway, but I got flat, these things do well here. Flat parsley, curly parsley, and somewhere there's another one. She packages them pretty. I like these little envelopes. And dill. And these all grow really good here. So these will go in the garden eventually. Probably not planting them right now. I'll probably wait till spring or something. But I've got some other medicine plant seeds that were in a package you guys who are here all the time know about. And many of those packets of seeds like to get cold, so they can be planted in the fall and then they'll come up in the spring. So I'm going to continue moving the compost stuff around to the new garden space and get some of those things in the ground. I love this new idea I have. I had bought earlier this month, I had bought a set of 12 solar pathway lights. So I went and did my pathway up to the ridge where the park bench is. I finally got that. That looks good at night. And then as I was doing that, I picked out a spot where I'm going to put those medicine plants. And we're not going to, shh, because it's not so kosher. And not in a kosher way, but I mean. Oh, I see Leanna's name. Hi, Leanna. I'm going to also get myself a bee skep. And put in a special medicine herb garden up on the way to the ridge. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do with it anyways. So I'll probably mess around with that this week. It's annoying to me that the wheel on the wheelbarrow, it rolls, okay? So I'm using it, it rolls. But I'm disappointed that my son didn't get me the inner tube for my real tire. he got me a tire that he thought would be the right one, and it's the wrong tire and it's small. So it makes it a little hard because it makes the wheelbarrow low and awkward to hold. Anyways, but it moves, so use what you got, right? So I'll be moving more of the old compost. We're talking this stuff is 5 and 6 years old. And so that 5 and 6 year old compost, I've got some places where I'm going to move it and then put some seeds in it that like having it done in the fall so they get a cold spell and hopefully they come up in the spring. I hope that works. So, and if it doesn't work like I want it to, then I'll be buying plants next spring because the seeds, some of them were a gift, some of them were super cheap. Sometimes I buy things at Dollar General when they're, four for $1 or something. Well, if I throw those seeds in somewhere and I never see them, I'm not going to cry. But that's the plan without a plan, right? So, guys, please remember to use the 3 uppercase Q's. I haven't been looking, so I'm going to go back and check. Oh, Beth had said, so glad her family took her back. Yes, that's about the older cat whose name was Tilly. I'm glad they took her back too, because that was, in the end, that was very problematic. Wendy, I'm going to borrow your dog bed. I'm going to borrow Wendy's dog bed as a pillow. Let's see if this helps. It'll get stuck in my hair. Wait a minute. Yes, guys, my hair's down today. But let's see if this makes... Oh, that's a little bit helpful, right? Okay. I know, I hardly ever do my hair down. But that's because it gets in the way. I mean, geez, when your hair is this long, it gets in the way. Anyway, okay. So I'm so glad her family took her back. Me too. That's about Miss Tilly. Me too. Oh, me too. Because, that was stressful for how many days? And then, moving the kitchenette and trying to reorganize everything I own kitchen wise and food wise and all of that, as I'm also adjusting my diet and everything else, right? It just feels like a lot. It's good stuff, but it just feels like a lot. And so it is what it is, right? You just keep doing whatever you're doing and you keep moving. So, okay, let's see. I'm sorry, I moved the phone again. Uppercase Q's. Beth. Emojis with hearts. Love Bee Skepper Herbal Gardens and more emojis with hearts. Yes, me too. Me too. And I'm hoping that bees move into the skep. I found, walking around the other day, I found a couple of trees that have got a lot of holes in them. And it's obvious there's a woodpecker. But they could end up with bees because I know I had bees here. Anyways, we'll see what happens with that. Donna Kay was in the hospital for 5 days, home now, and my son is here from Texas for a few days. Oh, Donna Kay, let's pray for her, please, guys. Beth, I just see that. Send that to me because I have one in a shopping list or something on Amazon in some list that I'm saving, but I don't think it's the same one. Send me that too. Oh, okay. So let's see. So what else is happening? I don't know what else is happening. I just, being awake so much in the night. I'm so grateful that the baby kitty. Okay, no name baby kitty needs a name. Okay. She is such a good cat. Now, she nips. Seems like she does that when she likes you. But her nip play bites are not hard. And I've been teaching her to be gentle. But I think it's the Maine Coon cat thing that's happening. Anyway, just let's come up with a name for her. I need a name for her. Um, I got the Cedar Summit. I know it's silicone, okay? But guys, take a deep breath on the silicone. Um, I got a Cedar Summit X-Pot kit for traveling in the tracker. And that's because I don't have space for pots and pans when I'm traveling with the tracker. But once I put the tailgate table on the door, it gave me a good, when it's level, a good space to work. So I also got a silicone mat that can go on that table to level out where there's the little holes in it that were a problem with my stoves. So the plan is to outfit my kitchenette in the tracker with the Cedar Summit X-Pot kits. They're no longer making them. So to find one, the color I like, and two, that set of pots is a little challenging. I got blessed. I found the set that's the pot with 2 cups and 2 bowls. And I thought that's what all I was getting off eBay for the price I paid. And I ended up getting 2 pots. And so one pot was by itself, the other, and they were brand new. And the second one was the pot, but a set. So, thank you, Beth. I just saw that come through. Um, so I have that. My friends Melinda and Jason are going to send me the tea kettle. They had the tea kettle in the set they got, but the tea kettle's too small for them making coffee. Um, the because they're big coffee drinkers and they, whatever. And and I got 2 pump coffee pots. I was going to use them for hot and cold water, okay, in here. But once I had okay, we're going to try to be really careful. Yes, this is the tabletop behind the phone. Yes, the whole, hold the phone with that finger. That's the hole right there. So I got it. She was just pulling stuffing out. Okay. It doesn't want me to show you or something. Move. It doesn't want me to show you or something. Move laptop. I got these baskets. They were cheap, set of 3. I'm not super in love with them, but I don't hate them. And anyway, but up on the counter, I was going to use the coffee pot on the left. I can't get my finger in the camera. Over there. Coffee pot right there. I was going to use one for hot water and one for cold water. But then I realized I want this one because I can, for cold water, because I can see the level and it holds more for washing dishes. But I'm trying to make a kitchenette for somebody who loves to cook in 4 foot of space. This is a challenge. It's not horrible. It's just a challenge, okay? And I'd kind of, that little white shelf right up there, I'd kind of like to have a chive plant and a couple of live, like, herb plants. I don't know if that's doable, but I could put them on the window. But that window stays cracked open year round, so I don't know the answer here yet. Um, I don't like that little light right up there. That thing was expensive. Probably cost me $50. And I don't. It makes it scroll. And I don't want it buffering. Okay. Let me go back and see. Look, I'm looking for three uppercase Q's in your comments. That's how they get read. Unless you would like to super thanks or super chat, and that is that you donate money. One of those two things is how I see your things. Okay. Iris. Little one used to nip as she was giving us kisses. Yeah, I think that's what baby kitty's doing. Donna K had septic infection in my breast cancer tumor. Had to treat with IV. Oh, I'm so sorry. IV antibiotics. Donna, are you gonna be able to replenish your gut by using kefir afterwards? Um, yeah, pray for her. Looking for three uppercase Q's. Luke, you did not use three uppercase Q's, but for some reason I noticed your message. Okay, your comment. So I'm going to read it. But in the future, would you please use three uppercase Q's in front of your comment? That triggers me to read your comment. Love the tracker. See if GoSun will let you evaluate their tube solar oven. They're small, light, and inexpensive. I have used mine for my setup over the last 4 years. Love your content. Thank you so much, Luke. Um, I actually had one of those for about a month. I bought it brand new. It was expensive. At the time, I didn't have much money. I tried to use it. Um, I tried to use it for something, and it was so small. I don't remember why I couldn't afford to keep it. And somebody saw it and just had to have it. And I told them if they paid me what I paid for it, I would give it to them. And they did. So I let it go. Sometimes that happens in my life because I'm lower income. Um, but I know it's a good piece of equipment. The part that was always hard for me was the glass tube. And protecting a glass tube in a bouncing around vehicle that's one of my friends rode in the tracker with me and said, "Oh my gosh, it's like an old tilt-a-wheel." I was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding." Old carnival rides with the metal sounds. And so I don't know. It always has been that I was concerned about the glass. I'll have to look into them again because I was thinking about the solar thing the other day. Maybe I will look into it again. I don't know. Um, Donna Kay was totally dehydrated and did not eat for 3 weeks, taking something to replenish gut, still on antibiotics. Gotcha. I'm figuring because I'm heal. Okay, so I did carnivore for a long time. And the better part of a couple of years, right? Yeah, I started experimenting with adding in berries and stuff like that, and honey and stuff, and all the bone broth, all the meat really healed me up really well. That was good. It really was good. And then I just didn't have any energy. So I started adding back in some things. And then when I decided to start doing biblical foods, it was a really big change for me. But realizing that kefir is the curd of the Bible, and then remembering how simple it is to make. I started because I haven't been able to get raw goat's milk in my area. You think I should be able to, but everybody who was milking and ready to, I was talking to them about getting some good raw goat milk. One, I had to make sure they were clean and neat people because that's the way I am. Um, but one of them, their dog killed their milking goat, and then another one, the neighbor's dog killed it, and it was like, okay, what's up with this? So y'all that are on here often know that I started ordering the goat's milk powder that was coming out of, mine is coming out of Australia. It was little bit less expensive than the one coming out of New Zealand, but it's still expensive. And I started making kefir with that. And then I started having kefir and fruit in the morning. And my fruit of choice was pomegranate. And wow, was I doing really, really good. Then I had a visit from my son, which was challenging. And I got back into drinking coffee. I really think I got to give up coffee. Coach, coffee's not in the Bible anyway, so I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's not there. It is a fruit, but come on, by the time we're having it, it no longer is fruit. I lived on coffee plantation areas of Costa Rica, Central America. So, like, I know what it's like to eat a coffee fruit. It's a whole different thing. Anyway, so I'm kind of a little bit in transition with my food again, except not too bad. The simplicity of the biblical foods. What I've decided to do is, as I'm doing my Bible study with the biblical foods, I'm deciding to take what's literally in the King James Version, which is what we've been given for now, and I'm going to just kind of keep it simple and use that to start with. So that's things like fish and olives and olive oil and um, beans and lentils. I have been and currently am using Encorn grain, Einkorn grain. Uh, it's a wheat, an ancient wheat. I've been using that for my sourdough for a couple of years and seasonally more in the winter. Okay. And I do really well with it as a sourdough. Well, I was doing research in Ezekiel about Ezekiel bread and realized that they weren't talking about encorn. They were talking about emmer, EMMER grain. So that's in my shopping list for this month. So I still have a little bit of encorn flour to use, but then I'll be switching over to emmer. And if I can finagle it, I'll start to have some of those grains growing somewhere here on the property this coming spring. I hope that works out where I can do that. I'll grow a bunch of stuff like that. Um, but since in Ezekiel, it talks about for the Ezekiel bread, I don't have my notebook close, or I would thumb through my notebook and read my note. But anyways, it talked about emmer. It never mentions other people use these things. Never mentions rye. Never mentions the encorn by name, right? Never mentions spelt. It never mentions farro. Farro, Farro, is an umbrella term for some of the ancient wheats, for three of the ancient wheats: encorn, emmer, and I think it's spelt. But in Ezekiel, it specifically said emmer. So I'm going there. It said lentils, it said beans. And so beans, as in, anyway, I went for historically correct beans for that area. And so I'm going to order fava beans, dry ones, and I've already got garbanzos, I've got lentils, stuff like that. So so olives, olive oil, dates, pomegranates, figs, um yes, fruits and stuff like that. Yes, meats. I kind of have a hunch that it's more that we should have the meats on holy days and less that we should have like red meats, like kosher, kosher, um, clean meats by the Leviticus, Deuteronomy guidelines for holy days. Okay. But on a regular basis, I think it's more fish. So I'm I've got anchovies. I'm out of the mackerel that I love, but online they're not having so much of it, so I got to watch that. But whatever. But anyways, that's the way I'm leaning, and it's becoming more simple as I do that research and work with that. So yeah. Okay, I've talked. Let me go look a little bit. Um, Message to new viewers. Please start your questions or comments to Lesa with the letters QQQ. Lesa is using a cell phone and the screen is tiny. Thanks. Luke said, okay. Thank you, Luke. Um, Luke, I've got work to do to the tracker. The back removable hardtop that I don't want to ever take off is a first generation rally top. Unfortunately, it did not have a roof rack on it. Okay, I wish it did, but whatever. And they won't sell me the roof rack. But they did tell me that it was installed right and don't ever take it off because putting it back on will be a pain in the a pita. So so I'm not planning to take it off, but it's leaking. So I've got most of the materials to fix it, but I'm gonna have to remove the rear windows and reinstall them. They're so old, they're dry rotting. And so and when I worked at the auto shop, one of the guys pulled the weather stripping out of the outside of one of those windows to prove to me that I needed to fix them and that it wouldn't be hard. So he went, see? Well, now that just is a waterfall in there. So I've got to fix those, and we've been having like crazy rain again. So I'm having to watch the back end to keep it as dry as I could keep it. But that's what's going on with that. So thank you, thank you, Luke, for being here. Oh, okay. Let me go down here. Oh, Beth, you grew emmer. Good for you. Was it hard? Oh, what a great price, Beth. But Send that to me when you get a minute. Send that to me in a little message. Um, was it hard to grow, Beth? I think it's probably not. Okay. Grew great in Stewartstown. Okay. I bet it's going to do fine here. I think most of the things that God wants us, and yeah, I'm saying it like that, or Yahweh wants us to use and do, I think they're more simple than we expect. I think that they're just seasonal and stuff. And so, uh, anyway. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I did get my chimney swept. I bought a little chimney sweeping brush. It wasn't exactly the same kind that, like, Leanna has a really good one. But anyway, uh, mine seems to be a little less stout, but it has a great handle that screws together so you can take it apart and make it small. And it works because I'm careful with how I burn the wood in my stove, and I always burn TSP when I can get it. If I can't, I'll just buy soot remover stuff and burn it every few fires. Most of the time, all the stuff in my chimney is just dust. And so just the fact that he could go up and down in the chimney just did a great job. So I still do not have, I'm not going to turn the phone around because we've buffered too much today, but I still have 3 bags of cement sitting beside the stove. So even though it's been chilly and damp, I just have closed windows. I'm not like starting a fire yet. Um, I've got to get that cement is for the yard fence gates because I'm one of my gates is so old it broke. Well, broke. The screws came out of it. And so we've uh I've always had the plan to move that gate. So that's what the cement's for, is to move the gate. And I have it like in the area. Jess is supposed to come Monday. So let's pray for some good weather for Monday. Wednesday or Thursday, I need to look again because based on new moon last week, I think it's last week, I got to double check whether it's Wednesday or Thursday is Day of Atonement, another holy fall holy day. And so I'll be keeping that. I won't work that day. And I will turn my phone off. I'm going back. I'm returning, I'm whatever words we want to use, to my turning my phone off on Sabbaths and holy days. I always have done better that way. So I'm going to start doing it. And yes, Leanna and other good friends, just know that if it's a Sabbath or a holy day, that you can't reach me that day, get a hold of me beforehand. I will make plans ahead of time for whomever I'm going to celebrate holy days with. I don't know what I'm doing for Feast of Tabernacles yet, except that I do have my tent, I do have my bedding, I do have all my stuff. As far as I'm concerned, I would just sleep in the tracker, except that I can't imagine having those windows re sealed and finished so that I don't have, if it rains, the back of the car leaks so bad I can't imagine having it fixed in a week. So I'd rather just sleep in the tent. And so I don't know where I'm going to do that, but I am communicating with my like-minded neighbor friends, one being my good friend Liana. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. But anyways, ah. Okay, Luke is the next uppercase Q's. Wow on the tracker. I have 2 Nissan Xteras that I'm working on, both first gen. The 2000 will be my insane nomad vehicle. The 2003 will be your daily driver. Good for you. Um, I love my tracker. Okay. Now, I'm not emotionally attached in a way that I couldn't let it go if something happened. But I like it enough that if I needed to replace it, I would certainly attempt to find a second gen, maybe ZR2 two door with a hard top, or I would buy a hard top with a 2.0 engine. Part of this is because technically I have been paralyzed 3 times in my life or more. And I technically, on somebody's pieces of paper in somewhere in the world, have MS. And because of that, the risk of driving standard, which I did all my life for years, um, up until very recently, the last, I don't know, the last couple of years. Anyway, I have to have an automatic just to be safe on the road. Because if for some odd reason I started to be paralyzed again and I was driving, I get no warning. And so I wouldn't be able to push the clutch in. So rather than run that risk, I would hunt for a two-door second gen, because I had one for a minute. I don't want the four-door. I had a four-door for a minute. There was history to that car that was really not good. I don't want to talk about it today, but if you look in old videos, you can find information and piece it together what happened. But it was just very easy to drive. It drove a little faster, a little, whatever. It was just a little easier to maneuver. And I would love to have one of those. Um, uh, and yet, I love the one I've got. It drives fast enough. I really don't have any big problems with it. I did because I blew the engine. Then I got the engine rebuilt. Then I worked for that mechanic. That was a mistake. I grew. I learned a lot. I earned enough money to take care of some issues. Part of it was to pay him off. He got paid a buttload of money for that engine. It was, oh, good Lord, did he get paid. Um, but then he fired me so he could hire his girlfriend. Bummer. I was hoping to work for him a little bit longer, right? Or another year or something like that. And then one day, just bam, I'm gone. So he could hire his girlfriend. Not cool. And the same day, my computer went out. So then I was without my car for another almost 2 months. And that was a whole thing. But Randy Gibbs rebuilt my computer for $200. It just took time to get it back, and now it's running pretty good. So, deep breath. It took me a long time to get over. I asked him not to put a lift kit on it or anything like that. And one of the first things he did was took a sawzall and cut things underneath and put on a lift kit. And so then I had to learn how to drive it with the lift kit. Now I like it. It's fine. I'm okay. But I was angry because I wanted it left stock because I knew they were capable even in stock condition. And with my low income, having it stock was simpler for getting it fixed or traveling, or be it on the highway or getting a set of tires. And it would be capable putting it in 4-wheel drive to get it to my property. Anyways, that was the idea. But people do things and whatever. But anyways, so yes, if something happened to this one, I would be looking for a second gen with a 2.0 engine, preferably a ZR2, because they came with skid plates and stuff. stock condition, and either with the rally top on the back, or I would put one on it. That's where I would go if something happened. If I couldn't find one, then I would be hunting for a small pickup truck, and I would put a wedge shape pop up camper on the back. That's what I. That's exactly what I would do. Okay, now looking for comments again. Cue comments. And so be it on the cell phone. I have been doing that for years. Right. Yeah, exactly. The cell phone. You do the best you can. And I did, maybe a year ago ish, I did decide to go with visible. So I do have visible. But then in our area, um, Verizon has started to be a little wonky. But the closest Verizon cell phone tower is about, as the crow flies, it might be 10 miles away ish. Um, but it often gets affected by the weather. And we did have a pretty bad storm last night. And who knows if the lightning struck the tower? It could have. So who knows? But anyways. Okay, I'm not able to move the. I don't see any more Q comments right now. So, but if the Tesla phone is for real and really comes with that ability to connect to the Starlink satellites, then I would jump on that. Well, save money to jump on that. Right now, though, honestly, in the saving money financial side of things, I really, truly, right now, I'm trying to get this kitchenette straight and at the same time get my kitchenette straight for the tracker as well. I think what I'm going to do for my things that are dry goods and spices and things like that, I think I'm going to go ahead and get the mason jar Ziploc bags. I've had them before. And I'm just going to get the bigger ones that have the opening on the bottom so they can stand up on the table, right? They expand on the bottom. I think I'm just going to get those for the spices and the dry goods. And and so that I can keep them neat and orderly, both in the cabin and in the tracker. I think that's where I'm going with that. So when I open a bag of something, I'm not like the bag of powdered goat milk. It's wonderful, but it's a 2 pound bag. It's big. And so to get your hand down in it to get a scoop out, you're all messy. And when I'm traveling, I won't use it quite the same as I do at home. Well, now that I'm saying that, I'm going to use it very similarly because I don't really change things up much. But anyway, um, having it in a container where it's easier to get a scoop out. That's what I'm going to aim for. And of course, I'll wash the bag out and add the stuff I wash out from the goat's milk, I mean, will go into my kefir container. My kefir container is the stainless steel inner pot of my smallest thermal pot. So whether I'm using it here and no matter the temperature, I can control the temperature by using the outer thermal pot with it. So I think that made sense. I have it in my not wish list, but my shopping list to buy the other thermal pot, but it's so freaking expensive. I'm just holding off a little bit longer. It is 2 3-liter pots, stainless steel pots that stack one on top of the other, and they have really thick bottoms on them, and they go inside the thermal thing. So, okay, I don't know what to call it. It's $300. It has to be imported from Japan. It's just a thing, okay? Um, I will eventually buy that and be done with buying pots and pans, because I can imagine that whether I'm on a trip or here at the cabin, with a small amount of, maybe I've made meat, maybe I've made soup, maybe I've just boiled water, but maybe it's lentil stew in one and meat in the other, or water in one for hot water and food in, I don't know. But anyway, so the plan is, yes, to get that, but it's $300, so I'm holding off. I'll get it when I can afford it. Um, the other item I'm gonna buy is a white tall cabinet for this little corner on the other side of this wall on the screen patio. What's been in that corner, if you are around my videos a lot, is the orange water container, and it's not there anymore. But the orange water container stuff had been there. This cabinet's going to replace that, and it's going to be food and pots and pans and dish storage that I don't want immediate use. So it'll be between the kitchenette and here, and that cabinet will be much more accessible. That cabinet's $129, and I don't know how long it will take to get here because it's not shipped by Amazon. But I got to run the risk to get it because it's a metal cabinet with no air holes in it. So it should be weatherproof, it should be rodent proof, and it should definitely be like spider proof as well. So that's going to go in that spot. That I will order this coming payday, you know, in the next few weeks. In the next week. And so that will come, hopefully, and that will help get this feels like cluttery stuff kind of a little more to control. But every little step I'm making right now is getting closer to this all being taken care of. I sold the little potbelly wood stove, yay. And at the same time, those people saw that I had a rooftop carrier, but I didn't have any rooftop carrier for a car. It was fiberglass. I didn't have any hardware for it. I sold it. The guy wanted to give me $50. I told him to give me 30. They were, yeah, they were okay enough financially. It wasn't like that, but I felt bad charging him more when I didn't have the hardware. So I let that go. Um, and so now I'm maneuvering the storage stuff. My son left me a couple of outdoor storage containers. I gotta say, there's one problem with the storage containers my son bought. They were inexpensive from Walmart. I get this, okay? But why the heck, if you're making them for outdoor storage, why do you make them with a 2 or 3 inch dip in them? I get it so you can put another one inside, but guess what happens if they're outdoors? They fill up with water. So they have little ponds on top of them. I don't even understand. Okay, I don't have many of them, but I don't really like that design. I like the old Plano sportsman boxes really well. And so I may have to get a couple more of those. I may not. I don't know. I may have plenty of storage. I put the old black two-door cabinet out behind the shower house. It's got tools in it. It's working really well. I just love that that's working that way for now. It's not perfect because the door fell off and some things happened. I did figure it out though. If the floor it's sitting on, which right now it's on top of a couple of pieces of stone, if the stone was level, the doors would work right. But the stone's not level. And now it's got so much heavy stuff in it, I'm not in a mood right now. So we're just leaving it for now. And when I have less priority things that have to be done right away, then I'll have somebody help me fix that thing. But anyways, that's yeah. So Leanna's saying it sounds like that cabinet will work well. I think so. I think it's going to allow me to not have to have the barrel, which is challenging to get into some days. And I don't know, maybe then I free it up for it actually being a trash can again. But between that and my mini root cellar, which Leanna does understand now, okay? But I don't think I can show you. It said, oh, be careful touching buttons, right? Let's see if I can. Green screen. Oh, it will. Oh, look. Here's the fox that the neighbors. Oh, can I make it smaller? No. This is. Oh, you can't. Oh, poop head. Okay. I'm not trying to create a short. What did. Oh. What did it do? Green screen. I was on the wrong one. There we go. Okay, you can't see his whole head and everything. Bummer. All right. Let me go back down here. Let's see. Oh, this was the two fur babies watching a movie the other night. That was cute. My head's in the way. They were watching a movie. I can show you some of this. Those are my new kitchen sets for the car, for the tracker. Okay, now I'm back. I just have to lean in and out. Okay, let's get to way down here. Nope. I'm trying to find this. That's the fry pan that goes with the other set. I found that one in Canada, but the company, I told them, I gave them all my stuff. They can't find a way to ship it to me. I would have paid that money for it, but they can't figure out how to send it to me. Okay, let me keep going. I'm trying to find you my root cellar ideas and the garden. Hang on a second. Okay, Jess working on my front porch. How about that one first? Look, porch railings going up. I know my head's in the way, right? That's because I'm doing this with the. It's actually the green screen thing. Righty, alrighty, 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 alrighty. Before that, before that, before that, before that. This is the cabinet for the back porch. But I want the white one, not the black one. All right. And garden, 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 garden. It'll take 2 pictures to show you the mini root cellar idea. So here we go. Okay, so this is what I started. Okay, okay, my head's in the way. I can't get my head out of the way. So this is what I started, and you see the cattle panels up here at the top make a hoop shape. Um, the garden bed, there's one on the right that's little. There's a bigger one on the left. There's actually two on the left, one in front of the other. And then the round hole is going to be the mini root cellar. So it's going to get ground, dirt, sand, mounded around it and up over the top. Now I'm going to show you the basic idea that I'm aiming for it to look like. So, having started off with, nope, a little further. Go further. I'm scrolling pictures, guys. So, I found these cool This was the first idea I found. When it gets there. Oh, it's too big for you to see. Never mind. But it's a culvert, and you see how they have those probably bags of cement, right, over the top, and then they have grass growing on top of it. All right, let me go back. But this is what I'm really aiming for the aesthetics of it. I want it to basically look like this. Okay? So you would walk up and open the door and reach in to get your food. Like it could store potatoes and onions and all kinds of things, actually. It could have canisters with stuff, it could have cheese, it could have all kinds of things. So that's what I'm aiming for, is something like that. And I do have some other pictures, but I feel like that's enough. So now done. But I want to turn the green screen off. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Green screen. Go back to turn it off. There we go. Done. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to do. All right. Whew. Hey, but I was able to do that. Hobbit hole root cellar. Yes, exactly. And it's a mini one. So it's actually my round piece of metal is 3 feet diameter and 3 feet deep. So it's a pretty good space. I mean, it's like the refrigerator portion of somebody's refrigerator. And having the dirt mounded around it, and then having the cattle panel hoop over it, I'll be able to put shade cloth over that. I'll be able to plant plants around the back as well as the top and help hold the soil from being blown away and stuff like that, protect it a little bit. But it should be sort of like refrigerator like, okay? And cool enough. It should be good. Bye, Donna Kay. I see that. But yeah, so that's what I'm aiming for with that. And I know it's creative and all that other stuff, but it's what I'm working on. And then I just found a spot where I had started to dig for something else. Wasn't sure what I was doing with that spot. And I think I've decided I'm gonna plant the lavender seed in there and see if it will take off. And whether it does or not, are you okay? Are you thirsty? What is going on, Miss Wendy? You have water out there. You want to go outside? She's looking at me funny. Um. Anyway, and if it doesn't like look like it's doing much of anything in the spring, I'll put lavender plants in that spot. But I'm gonna put some of that old compost and straw in there, and you know, make it a good spot. And it's pretty close to the back screen patio, so it'll be good. So come here, come here. What's going on? What's going on? Miss Wendy needs a bath, and she's having a bad hair day. She looks. Come here, baby. Come, please. Come, please. Up, please. Mommy's on the video. Do you want to say hi to people? Come up, please. Come, look up. It's you. It's your baby. I know. I didn't get her. I didn't get her stitched yet. I know. It's your baby. I didn't get her stitched up yet. Come on up. Come see Mama. You okay? She will not let me pick her up right now. But she is having a bad hair day. Come on. Oh, there she comes. All right. Let's show everybody you. Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I've been sleeping. It's, you know, Wendy had quite a time with baby Kitty. Um, I know. Baby Kitty was trying to nurse on her and would bite her. And so she'd be like trying to protect her tail, trying to protect her, her underside, so that she wouldn't get bit. And so I've had to help her with that. And then Tilly started attacking her. We've had a rough week. She's already happier because last night, about sunset, she started running zoomies in the backyard and just running and running and running. She had a good time. So she'll be okay. She's getting calm back down. There we go. Oh, Iris, I just see that. Are you saying bye? Okay, you guys have a good day. I think I'm gonna go in a minute too. I appreciate everything. Do we have more questions? What we wanna talk about? Um, Luke, it's really cool to see that you're kind of on the same page with the whole shalom and everything. So, um, hallelujah. Yah is good. Yahweh. Yeah. Anyway, um, anyway, so I don't know what else to talk about right now. It's the sky is incredible with clouds right now. I am afraid to touch the phone. It'll probably buffer if I touch it. Right, Wendy? You looking at me funny, my big girl. You looking at me funny. But there's low, fluffy, kind of gray and white clouds, but they're really low. I could see them on the front porch. I'm so afraid to like touch the phone because it just has done some weird things. Um, and I'm not sure you can even see it. Yeah, you can't. Even if let's make it really big. Yeah, there you go. You can see those. I can see that. See? Let me show you out that window. Please don't screw up the phone. Look at how low and big and fluffy and kind of weird cloudy. Okay. All right, we did it without it. We did it without it being like horribly whatever. So, I see Luke's Roger that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, oh, we're so blessed though. It is a pretty day. And oh, I learned when Jess was able to come back, I learned that Jess is okay with painting. And so, since the other person never got a hold of me, said they were going to talk to me in 2 days, I've never heard from them. So, if Jess is willing to keep working and wants to do wants to do paint, then as we finish up some other things, I'll add painting on on the list. The next big thing is getting the gutters up, because all this rain, like Jess had said, I don't know, 2 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, he had told me that in one little rainstorm he had gathered, whatever you want to call it, harvested 400 gallons of water, right? And I mean, I know as much rain as we had last night, my 33-gallon bucket is or barrel is the only thing that's filling with a gutter. I've only got one gutter up. And it has filled and overflowed 3 times. So there's not much I can do about it because I have no other way to like put it anywhere. It's okay, Wendy. For right now, managing what I've got is okay. But the goal is to eventually I don't know how many gallons I'm trying to do. I had 900 gallons delivered. Honey, if I get up, okay, I'm going to leave the phone and open the door for Wendy. Hang on. I know getting out of this chair is weird. There we go. Okay, you want out front? You be careful, please. Be careful, please. Ugh. Let me get another. I'm gonna adjust a couple more things. The back cushion on this new chair I got, it didn't inflate like I thought it was gonna. I should get a hold of the company and find out if they, if they could do something about that. Anyway, so yeah, I had 900 gallons delivered, which was great. I'm now, part of what you do when you're off grid is you try to maneuver with your budget. I try to maneuver with my budget to solve the immediate daily issues: water, bathroom, cooking, and heat, and keeping yourself out of the weather, right? And so I've slowly improved them all. Turtle steps, little bit at a time, turtle steps, right? And so it's better. It's way better than it was. And, I had that great big water tank here, but the only way to get water in it, because it was on the highest space, was to have water delivered. There was no way that gutters on the cabin were going to fill that water tank because it was too far away and up high. But it also became a target for the hunters that were hunting down on the state trust land below me. So I ended up, after about losing it, I ended up selling it and readjusting the idea. So rather than have somebody shoot holes in it while I'm not paying attention or something, I got rid of that, and I got what I was trying to get: smaller containers. So I have the IBC totes. So then, so the next step from the IBC totes is, yes, to get water off the roof into something, but at least to just get water off the roof going where I need it to go. Because like the very front porch, the water dumps straight down on the steps and they get slippery and icy in the winter. So of course I want that one done as one of the next ones. And then on the very back of the screened in patio, the water's dumping so close to the stone, it's making this big wet muddy puddle right beside the stone, which is the back of the floor. I don't want that to hold water there. So that one really needs to be done. And once those are dumping somewhere, once they're directed away from the problem, then I can begin to see the next thing and get it moved where I want it to be. I would sort of like to get a water tank that's kind of tall and skinny-ish, that could be behind the shower house, and have that be the big water storage, because it's protected from all sides by trees, so it's less visible to anybody just coming up, right? And it's a little more protected from the weather. And all of my water, basically, all the water needs are taken care of over at the shower house. And anything inside, I just go get water and bring it here. And I'm okay with that as a dry cabin. I'm okay with that. Most of the winter, I don't have to worry about water freezing and stuff like that. It will freeze. But if you have a bigger tank, you have less chance of it freezing solid. So, but in a couple of years, it might be nice to have a tank behind the shower house. And maybe that means I have to then have a water pump. But if I choose to do a water pump, it would be solar operated on a float valve. And I would have the float valve in a barrel or something that's up high enough to gravity feed where I want the water, which might just be the back screened patio. And I'm good with that. But what it would do is every time the level would get to a certain level, the pump with sunshine would turn itself on, fill the barrel, so the barrel's always kept full-ish. That's where I'm aiming. And I don't know whether it'll be the back patio, but I kind of expect that's the best place to put it. Um, but the I may have to do a second similar thing for the shower house because I got that wood-fired hot water heater, and I kind of have picked out a place where I think I will build the I think glass bottle, two glass bottle walls, maybe the front one, I don't know. But attached to the shower house where the smallest IBC tote is currently. And then have a cement floor with a drain in it, and then put the teak shower, which I need to refinish, the teak shower and the wood fired hot water heater in there. I just think that makes the best use of everything. So that's probably the idea. So let's see. Yeah, didn't lose you. I know, incredible, right? But those clouds they're so low. Um, 400 gallons in not much time. Yeah. Luke said, I use a Berkey for water filtration with the black filters for possible fallout. Gotcha. I'm not a big fan of Berkeys, but I don't kind of. I use a Camco RV filter and a Sawyer water filter, which is my travel filter. It has a gravity fed bag, right? And um, I think it's a gallon and a half gravity fed bag and a hose. Anyway, um, but the plan has always been to run all my water through a filter barrel and make my filter with rock, stone, and charcoal and let it filter through that. And then that's the safest and easiest to maintain. But I don't have that made yet. I was going to use my black rain barrel that I made. It has a locking lid to make that, but I haven't done it yet. So, oh, and there's Beth saying that she uses Camco and Sawyer. Yeah, that's what I've been using for a while. Of course, I used to hike, so um, well, used to hike. I have hiked. Yeah. Um, I yeah, whatever. And of course, it's that shoulder season where it's chilly at night, but it's not cold enough to like have the heat on yet. So I use my Yuko candelier and my other Yuko candle lanterns in the evenings and sometimes in the morning. So like at 3 o'clock this morning when I was awake with that storm and the animals killing the rodents outside, I think it was a mouse. Um, I decided to put on a candle and I boiled some hot water and made a cup of decaf instant coffee, which was nasty, but I made it anyways. And and I was awake. There was no, sometimes it's that way. Yeah, you use Sawyer in Nomad mode. I totally understand. My my use of things does come from like I couldn't afford any more than the Sawyer filter that I happened to get on sale at Walmart's camping department one winter, right? And it was like the end of the camping season, and they happened to have Sawyer water filters for $14 a piece. So I grabbed one, and I was like, man, I wish I could have gotten more than one. It was like, I don't care. I got one, right? And then I found the other bag another time. And so that was all I had for a long time. But that's how I um, have maneuvered. Uh, because sometimes it's about the money, sometimes it's about the availability. Like when I'm here right now, a trip to Walmart is over 100 miles away. So it's not a whole day trip, but I turn it into that because there's also Home Depots and Tractor Supplies and Harbor Freight and whatever. So when I go, it's maybe once every 6 months. And it's like I'm hitting everything. So it's going to be an all day thing. And I don't really like to do those trips very often. So sometimes that's what happens. But the Camco filters are under 20 bucks, but they're made for RVs, and they're an inline filter for that fit a garden hose. So it's very simple to put those on to an IBC tote. It's just simple to put them on and run a hose or whatever you need to run or fill jugs. So yeah. So I use the Camco and I use the Sawyer. But of course mine all comes out of my Nomad and overland um, uh, uh, tendencies and my round the world travel tendencies. When I ended up in Central America for so long, I was on a round the world trip. And I kind of just ended up in this spot, and one thing led to another, and I rented a house, and something else happened, and just life. So sometimes things happen like that. So um Anna, I just saw your message. I think you're new here. Well, you said you've been following me for a while. Okay, that's wonderful. Would you please put three uppercase Q's in front of any question or comment or whatever that you would like me to read? It's how I notice something on my phone because the fonts are little. I notice and then I'll read your comment and say something about it. That's what happens. And it's either that or super chats. And I don't really, super chats are you donate money, but use the uppercase Q's, it's cheaper. I know that means I don't get big donations, but I'm not getting big donations anyway, so whoopee, I'm gonna survive. I'm not gonna die because I don't get some donation. Use three uppercase Q's, please, in front of what you want me to read so that I'll comment on it. Um, Beth will show you what I mean. So, I think we've done pretty good today for me being so tired, being up all night. Well, being up really early and whatnot with the, what's it called? With the thunderstorms. Wow. That storm went through here. Wow, that was crazy, crazy. But anyways, yeah. Uh, I don't know if it was 2:30, 3 o'clock, whatever it was. And then Wendy heard something on the back porch and had to go out and hunt. And then I was just up. So, yeah. But sometimes I come on and I'm so tired. And then I start talking to you guys and my energy comes back. And um, it, by the time we get off here on Sundays, I often have a different focus and a different perspective than I did when I came on in the morning. And Wendy's out sitting on the front porch right now. She killed a chipmunk Saturday that was climbing the tire on my tracker. Thank you so much that my little rat dog is doing her job. Um, and I'm calling her a rat dog. She's not. She's not a rat terrier or anything. She is. All those little terrier breeds were bred in order to deal with rodents, and so they're different breeds for a different specific thing. But Wendy is a Chihuahua Yorkie mix. That's called a Chorkie. And Yorkies were bred to be lap dogs for the ladies of the manor to have companion wise, so that they would, in the stone houses in England and that area, right, that general area, they would they would keep the rats and the mice from under the hoop skirts for the lady of the house in the castles and stuff. And so that's what Yorkies were bred for. And then um, Chihuahuas, I can't tell you what they were exactly bred for, but Chihuahuas have a thicker tail, and like rat terriers are like this. Their tails are short and thick. It was made so that when they went down the hole after a rodent, you could grab their tail to pull them out, and it wouldn't hurt them. That's what they were bred for. And so, anyways, I'm so glad that I have that kind of a dog. Anna, I see your question. Are you in a house now or still in your van/car? I am at my off-grid cabin. I built this during COVID year after that Thanksgiving, the very first boondocking bash, when right after that meal, I got horribly ill and ended up in the hospital for days, 7 days in the hospital. Um, and then they diagnosed me with MS. So I came back here not knowing, I didn't have the diagnosis yet. Came back here to my property and it snowed, and I just went, I can't, I've got to have a way to get out of the weather when I come to my property. And I was going to build a Vardo, and the only person who would help me do anything, because it was COVID, early COVID year, um, he wouldn't help me build a Vardo. He would only build a cabin. And he argued with me so much. Anyways, but I built a cabin. So here it is. And it's tiny. It is 12 feet square by 12 feet square. And it's 12 feet high at the peak of the cathedral ceiling. So it has a wood stove, and I do have an occupancy permit. Um, I still have my vehicle. I just recently, a few months ago, got my tracker back. I had a new engine built out of the three bad engines that I ended up with, and that cost me so much money because my engine blew and we cracked the block on the engine when I was traveling. I was on my way to Oregon, and the engine blew in Nevada, in rural Nevada, Round Mountain, Nevada. Anyways, I ended up there. So then to get home, I was able to basically get a vehicle that somebody had died in. And I got my butt home, was home, 8 months? And then an old friend, I don't know if we're friends anymore, but anyways, an old friend said, get the trucks, time to go. We're going after your tracker. And I went, what? So we went and we took a trailer and we went and we got it. We brought it back. And then I got the engine built, got the engine in it, went through that whole thing, expensive, challenging, the whole 9 yards. And then got the tracker back, had it for 2 or 3 weeks, and the computer went. So then I was without it again for, I don't know, 2 months. And so I just recently got it back. It's running pretty good. But now it has a new windshield, but it has a leaky back roof. So, in order for me, I've been camping in it a couple of times, but I have most of the materials to fix the back roof. I just need to pull the two windows out, but it's been raining a lot, so I can't quite do it. I got to pull the two windows out like you would on an RV and completely rebuild these windows. And in order to do that, I need to find out if I need butyl tape, which I think I do. That's inexpensive, but I got to get it. And I need the right weather stripping for the outside of the windows. And then I can take that all apart, do that project, and have it not leak anymore. Then I can camp more. Then I can travel again some. Okay. That was a lot, wasn't it? And in between, I went ahead and I got a new dog. Her name is Wendy. And I just recently got a baby kitty, is what I'm calling her. She's a teenager now. She's like wanting to climb walls and stuff. But I but she needs a name. I'm pretty sure she's a Maine Coon. She has got these huge paws, and she has that little like lion's mane fur behind her ears. So and her kisses are nips. Like she got teeth. Anyway, so whew, that was a lot, wasn't it? But that's the quick update. Okay, Anna? How is that? Am I answering questions good? Let me tell you though, Anna, I prefer to be both mobile to come and go. I like the coming and going more, okay? But I've been kind of stuck for so long, well, not having a car at all for a lot of this time. It's been hard. So, I have the car back. I'd like to make a couple of trips, but I got to stop the leak in it before I can do that. And so, maneuvering some things to make it both more comfortable here as well as sustainable and everything, so that in case, the poop hits the fan, which who knows, or the apocalypse happens or whatever. That's that's my story. So, well, since you just got here, Anna, do you have more questions or comments? Any subject you'd like me to talk about today? Because it's been about 2 hours, I believe. We had a little trouble with buffering earlier in the live chat, um, but I'm willing to talk about anything you'd like for a few minutes. Um, I'm actually starting to get thirsty again, but I don't feel like getting up. So I'm either going to keep rolling because you just came in, Anna, or I'm going to go ahead and go for the day. One of the two. And, but I'm doing pretty good. My health is way better. This week has been incredibly better. It's like I have energy again. And I've got to tell you, or I want to tell you, let me rephrase that. I want to tell you that I really believe that a big piece of my new level of feeling better and healthier, I really believe it has something to do with the relationships in person with the friends and neighbors that are close by that I have a level of trust with. I think that that piece of my healthy is making a big jump in the better health. It's similar to the big jump in better health I got when I added homemade uh, goat milk kefir to my diet. The goat milk kefir seems to be healing up old allergies. Now, honestly, I did find that there's a couple of them that don't seem to be healing yet. But I'm so grateful that I have a connection with all things natural, and that through Yahweh, God, however you, and by the way, Anna, you do you out here, okay? But be gentle with us all. I have something I believe in. It's okay that you have something different. But I just want to say I do believe in a something. And and I just feel so blessed. And I appreciate all of you all coming out here. Um, hey Luke, I go live most every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Arizona time. Adjust that for where you live. You could do that by just Googling if it's 9:30 a.m. in Arizona, what time is it where I am? And it will tell you. And that's the easiest way to do that. So 9:30 a.m. Sunday mornings. Now, occasionally, I'll take a break, very occasionally. Um, and if it's a Sabbath falling on a Sunday, I will still do a live, but it just, I will try to keep a level of, I don't know, this is not work for me. I'm just sharing who I am. It's just like you came to visit me at my cabin and we're sitting on the front porch talking. So that's how I see it. I don't see this as work, but I try to keep things, if it's a Sabbath, I try to keep things down. What diet am I on? Um, I don't like those terms, okay? Because I think it's unfortunate that we have to connect with something. Yeah, I did carnivore for almost 2 years, okay? I did strict lion diet first when I first started carnivore. I didn't get the results I wanted and stuff, but I got way healthier. And then carnivore with experimenting. And now I am re-studying. I no. Now I am studying biblical food. So I am the keeper of my relationship with that being that I call Yahweh and God, that is, or Yeshua or whatever, that is the creator and sustainer of the universe. That's what I choose to see it as. You get to do you. You can be here. Just be respectful. And I try not to say too much about that often. Okay. Um, but because of that, it's my relationship with the creator that I'm studying to find out how I'm being directed with my diet, which for me seems to be a very simple, word for word, biblical, biblically guided diet. How's that? I hope that works. So What I mean by that is rather than take it as an overall generality about food, that because God says, eat this and don't eat that, that you're going to take the guideline and eat from the guideline. I'm deciding that for now, that's not what I'm to do. For now, I feel guided to what was the curd from the Bible, and it appears to be it was kefir. And kefir is a very simple natural process. And out of the kefir grains, some people call them curd, you can make cheese and you can make butter out of that, and you can do things depending on how you've made it. And the same thing with the sourdoughs and the so I'm like studying when it said wheat, what wheat did it mean? It meant emmer. It didn't, and in fact, it says emmer. The translation is emmer, not encorn. And encorn's been good to me, but I'm going to switch because I found that's how word for word I'm taking it. So honey is a medicine, just don't use too much, right? It says that. Um, Pomegranate is a health food. It says that. Pomegranates, dates, olives, olive oil, bread, but made in a, I'm going to use a different term, in a sourdough, but in quote, bacteria bred way. We don't need to buy stuff. The buying stuff is marketing and human and influenced by other stuff. I don't want that in my life. So I'm going this way. That's who. So that's my answer to what diet am I on. Anna said, "Here it's 6:30 at night." Okay, Anna. Thanks for coming out and visiting with us. Uh, I don't know what that Lesa is allergic comments about Beth, but that's all good. Anna said that's what I believe too. Uh, Rip out my pancreas. Okay, that's an odd handle. What do you call it? Name. Um, Hi, new viewer here. Honest question. Why did Yahweh violate Pharaoh's free will and harden his heart in Exodus? Well, I don't see it that way, okay? I think that God the Father had a plan. And just like with Job, God the Father allowed Satan to have control over parts of Job's life for a reason. And so sometimes some of these things happen for things we don't understand because we're the created, not the creator. And so I am not going to get into a whole religious debate thing, but we don't always know the why, but God's got this. And so let's let him do his thing. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. Okay, guys. I think that I'm getting ready to go and do something else with the rest of my Sunday because it's almost noontime here. I've been on for a little more than 2 hours. And this has been great today. Thank you guys for visiting and being here. Thank you for coming to join us on the live chat. So, I don't know what else I need to talk about right now. Please remember to pray for each other, pray for our country, pray for our leaders. Um, just pray for the universe. Uh, and thank God that He has got, or Yahweh, that He has got this, because He knows what He's doing when we don't. And we know who wins in the end. It's all good. So, oh, Wade. Hi, Wade. Um, in here, Wade, we use 3 uppercase Q's so I can see your comments. And then I'll speak about your whatever you bring in. I'm just ending today. I'm so glad you found me though. So, so we're gonna pray for each other. Don't forget that Donna Kay's having a particular problem. Donna Kay's got breast cancer, and she was in the hospital this week. Let's remember to pray for her. Continue to pray for Leanna, and for all of us out here. We all have our things, but these are the ones that I remember are big. I can't remember anybody big specific right now. I did hear at the farmers market that somebody at farmers market was struggling with their living situation and food out here. But I think they've been here for many years. So it seemed awkward to me. I don't know whether we need to pray about their responsibility factor as well. So I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm just saying I don't know. So let's pray about that. Let's pray for the people that out here where I am, well, in other parts of the country, that are helpers of other humans, that they continue to be strong and to have things to help each other with. And so pray for each other. And y'all have a great week. We'll be back here next week, same back time, same back channel. Yes, that dates me, but it's okay. It's funny. It's to me, it's a tongue in cheek. It's cute. Anyway, and you all have a great week. Um, I don't think I have anything specific. I'm asking for. Wendy's doing good. Baby Kitty's doing good. Baby Kitty needs a name. Let's get some inspiration for a name for this baby kitty. She's cute as heck. And got the biggest paws. Anyways, and she did a good job on that mouse last night. So all right. Y'all have a great week. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.